All right, we are back. It is Shorty Sneaker Conversations, episode 101. Our guest, Andrea Rapaski. We'll try to get her in a second. How's everybody doing today? Let's see here. Okay, just sent the invite out to our guests. What's up, Slapper24? What's up, CJ? Sneaker Shop Talk. All right, there she is.
Hey, love.
Oh,
What's going on?
nothing much. Just trying to get like you. With all the kicks.
That's you.
Nah,
Not me, sir.
nah.
That's you.
Yeah. Well, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Appreciate you being here for episode 101. Now, we'll say before we get started, Instagram has been doing this weird thing where after an hour or so, it makes me end the live. So if it gets to the 2-minute warning, I'll let you know. Okay.
No
2-minute
problem.
warning, just like football.
It's it's cool anyway. I got to work tonight, so we'll get it all in pretty quick here.
All right, cool. What do I have to ask? I know you're from Northeast Ohio, like myself. What area are you from? Youngstown. Okay. All right. Right there on the shirt. Okay.
I had to rep my Youngstown shirt.
All right. Y'all got a Kicks Lounge out there. Pretty decent.
Yep.
Little mall. So I got you.
A little more. A little more.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but me and my wife went there about 2 years ago.
There's Southern Park. There's Eastwood. We have a villa. I don't live there anymore, but that's what was there when I left.
Got you. Okay. Well, I always ask all of my guests, since the pandemic started, what's been the most positive thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic?
Just enjoying being around people again. You don't realize how much you miss people until you really can't be around anybody. I take for granted shopping, just being able to go to a store when you want. Also just interacting with people. Like I felt socially awkward when it kind of ended because it had been so long since I've been around people. I mean, other than work people, because we worked through it. So I like to go walk around the mall a lot just to look around, see what's out there. And when that wasn't happening, I went on a whole shopping spree online and I'm still feeling the effects from that. I need to go through clothes, different things that I just bought to buy because I wasn't able. I save a lot more money now that the pandemic's over. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's something I realize I'm going to have to really wean myself off of, online shopping, or at least setting some boundaries where it's like, I only need to spend this amount for this month. You know what I mean? So
that and the fact that sneakers are actually sitting now makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because for a while there, it was like everything was that you couldn't find anything.
No, I agree. I always say the first few releases in the pandemic were easy to get. You could get the DMP6. You could get those court purple ones.
Right.
The fire red 5s, the silver tongue fire reds. You could get those. The Flint 13 to me is where it all changed. That's a regular.
And that is exactly where it changed. It turned into a whole mess right at that point.
Yeah, because I was still with Foot Locker, but everything opened up around that time, but the mall I was in, Richmond Mall, it was about done. So we didn't open back up until July. So I didn't really put any footwork in to get them, but I'm like, man, it's a full family. You know how we used to think pre-pandemic, well, if it's a full family, it's a bunch of them. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's when I knew. I was like, oh, this is different now.
Even the stuff like X, Goats, Flight Club, like the prices were so inflated because people were getting so much extra money at that time that it was like they were just spending. And here I am working. I'm not getting any extra money. And I'm like, okay, why are Jordan 1s going for $400 on GR? Like, this is ridiculous. General release ones going for $400 or $500. Like, it was crazy.
Another shoe like that to me is that black cat like
that catapulted into just ridiculousness because I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't.
Like,
When I saw the prices of those, I was just like, these were just retail. The royalty fours, I couldn't believe how much those shot up. And I think it was because people couldn't get black cats. So they're like, what's the next best thing?
yeah,
Let's
because
get the royals.
I know when the black cat initially came out. I mean, obviously 2006 was a different time, but it was a brick. The white one was a brick too. You know that you could just get them. They were my
They
snow.
were.
They were,
The crimson tint fours were bricks.
yeah,
And now, like, and then those shot up too. I was surprised at all of those, honestly.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, where did your sneaker journey begin? Like, what was your first sneaker moment?
Um, the Deion Sanders diamond turfs.
Hmm. The first ones or which ones?
The red, black, and white ones, like around 93.
Okay, okay, the one.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And then from there it went to Jordans and Air Max, and it just kind of took off from there. But the early, before that, so in 93, I was about 15, just started my first job. So that's when I started to be able to buy the sneakers I wanted to buy, not the ones my parents bought me. So, I mean, not that they bought me bad stuff, but it was like, no, we're not spending this on shoes. Like, this is what you get. I didn't have horrible shoes, but I didn't have the shoes I wanted. So when I got my little job at 15, that's kind of where it started for me. Because I was able to get my own, or, take the money they would give to me and like add to it to get what I wanted to get.
Yeah.
I remember my dad dropping me off to stand in line like at McGuffey Mall because, he was like, I'm not standing in line, but I'll stay parked here and watch you. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And there weren't a ton of females sneakerheads then. I was pretty much the only girl there all the time, to where the manager, his name was Marcus, he like kind of started to hook me up, and he was like, you're the only girl here. He was like, this is not the place you want to be as the only girl. Like, this is not the best neighborhood. This is not, you don't need to be standing in line here. So he started like hooking me up a little bit with some Air Max and Jordans, and kind of went from there. Ones being my favorite, Air Max 90s being my favorite, Air Max 1s to the 3, 4, 11, 12, and 13. I have a little bit of everything, but those are my favorites. I really don't mess with, I've gotten a lot really picky over the years. 5, 6, 7, 8s, kind of don't really mess with too much. Like, I have some, but not what I really focus on anymore.
Okay. Okay. So after the Diamond Turf one, what would you say would be the next shoe? And I'm already jealous because see, in '93 I was only 13, so I couldn't work yet. So I was still on asking my parents, But what was that next shoe that like cemented it all? Were you like, all right, I'm with this,
Jordan 3 white cement.
Oh, the '94 retro.
Well, they came out in 90. It was like the Jordan 3 white cement, the Jordan 3, the true blue, and the fire red.
Okay.
And that's what took me over the edge. That was like, it's a wrap. These are what it's gonna be forever, and that's it. That's all.
I got you. Okay. Okay. So, with you being a lady in the game, I mean, you have a lot of respect. Everybody, knows you. What challenges do you feel like you face as a lady being, sneakers now?
Honestly, I think the knowledge. I think they don't realize how much I truly love sneakers and the culture behind it, where it started, the history of each shoe. It's beyond what looks fire on feet to me. It's more of, where did this shoe come about? Like, who were the designers of this shoe? What did they design before this shoe? Like, one of my favorite shoes is the Jordan 1.5 that gets no love. That gets no love because they're like, that's the ugliest shoe ever. But to me, it's like the history behind that shoe is so dope Like any collector should have that shoe, in my opinion, because it's just like Jordan commissioned those himself. He wanted the look of a 1 with the sole of a 2 and made the 1.5. Like how could you dog that shoe? Like I don't know. It's more of the history for me, but I know as a female, you get challenged a lot on, oh, are you just doing this, to have dope shoes on or to look cute? And, they don't realize that a lot of us really know the history of shoes and really care about the culture and how things started.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I've met men who don't know who Tinker Hatfield is or Paul Moore. You know what I mean? And like you're gonna ask me, I mean, not to sound whatever, but you can't even tell me what game Jordan wore these shoes. Like, and you're gonna sit here and question me like I should answer to you just because I'm a female? Come on.
Yeah, like if you don't know who Peter Moore or Tinker Hatfield are, we got some.
Like we're just gonna stop the conversation right there. I don't have anything else to say. I
Uh,
just don't.
One of my favorite things, what I used to do, kind of in the early tens, was I felt like it was a lot of crazy eights around, and a lot of the kids didn't know that the crazy eight, the eight was Kobe. So a lot of
Yeah.
times, some nice Kobe's. And they're like, man, what you mean? These crazy eights. I'm like, what you think the eight is for? And it'd be
Right.
like, wow.
Right. Like they had a whole epiphany at that moment. And you're like, how do you not know? To me, it's just second nature because, like I said, I love the history so much of every shoe, different shoes. Anytime I get a collab, I like to know, what the history behind it is. And then, you have what bothers me the most these days is the hate because it's not hype. I know mids get a lot of hate. I know six rings get a lot of hate. And, like my thing is the six rings have a really, really dope history behind them. I mean, it's a mashup. Like to me, what's the difference between six rings and what the? You're mashing up shoes. Just because it's not hype, because it's not the mainstream. I don't know. I'm just not into telling anyone what they should buy or wear on their feet. If you like it, I love it. I'm not gonna make fun of nobody. And that bothers me about it these days. It's a little too much of the hype beast culture for me. If it's not a Travis Scott or if it's not, like an Atmos collab or like, a retro Jordan, then it's not good enough. But to me, like that's just not true. It's about what you like and what you want to wear.
Yeah. Dudes would be dumbfounded when I would let them know about that crazy eight. It was pretty funny. You said,
Well, yeah, and see what I mean? Things like that they look at and they have no idea what it even is. And then someone tells them and they're like, oh. And I'm like, this is what you should already know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, with you coming up in Northeast Ohio, in Youngstown area, what what was the sneaker scene like then? I know you gave me a little bit of the background, where you was getting them, but you were the only girl. But like, what was everybody gravitating towards in that area in the early 90s?
It was more of like the ones, threes, the Air Max 90s, and then like when 11s hit, it just shut the scene down. Like everybody wanted the 11s. There were your occasional like people got into like British Knights was a big thing back in the day. I had a pair of LA Gear, like K Swiss. I don't know if you remember, and it's still a brand out there, but do you remember Elise?
Yeah.
Elise?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had all the different color suede like sneaker shoes that everybody was into. You had your player type dudes that were into the Wallabies, but like sneaker wise, it was mostly like when Jordan hit the scene with the threes, from there it just took off. Everybody wanted, whatever the new Jordan was. Diamond turfs were pretty tough and trainers,
Mm-hmm.
like the Bo Jacksons. But yeah, that was kind of the norm. you had your crew that wore like the Air Force Ones, that were into those, but and just Nike in general, like 90s were big when I was coming. I think that's where I get my love for the 90s because it's just such a classic silhouette. Um, yeah, but I mean, it was kind of all over the place. I mean, people kind of then just wore what they wanted to wear. But when 11s hit the scene, that was it. I think the Concords just took everybody to like a whole nother Jordan level.
Yeah, and to me, with that initial release of the 11s, the Concord brought it here, but then the black and red one just, it
The
was like,
bread just took it to a whole nother. I actually got in a fight over the Concords.
really?
Yeah, someone tried to grab my bag when I was leaving Foot Locker, and I was like wrestling with them in the parking lot at Southern Park Mall, and two guys that were in line behind me came and helped me because some dude tried to take my shoes. I mean, my nails were broke, everything. It was so bad, but I had my shoes. Still
Was
went
this
home with shoes.
was this the 2011 release of them?
No, no.
Oh, back in the day, like early.
Yes. This
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was, but I still have them. I still have them.
Now, that was what I was going to actually ask you next. Since you've been buying your own shoes since the early 90s, do you still have some of those old pairs that you bought when you were like,
I do. I have a storage place back in Ohio full of, there's probably like 60 to 80 pairs in there that are unwearable because I didn't know then what I know now. I didn't know how to store them. I didn't know how to take care of them. A lot of crumbling soles, a lot of yellowing. Like I would literally have to sole swap probably about 50 pairs of shoes for them to be wearable. But
mm.
I'm still not giving them up. Still not giving them up.
Now, where do you mind me asking? Because I'm in North Carolina now. We've been down here for about 2 years. Where are you at?
And I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. When my General Motors plant closed back home, I got sent here.
Was that Lordstown that closed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we closed in 2019. But it's cool here because I'm close to Indianapolis. I'm close to Detroit, Cincinnati, Louisville. I have a lot. Like downtown Indianapolis actually has a corporate store. There's a lot more avenues for sneakers here than there was back home.
Okay.
So I'm pretty okay with it.
Now, back in the day, I have to ask, as a Clevelander, did you ever come to Cleveland to get any sneakers?
No, actually more of Akron.
Ah.
More of Akron. I used to be able to get kind of whatever I wanted in Akron. So I never really had to go to Cleveland. I used to go to Pittsburgh a lot too, though.
Okay.
We were right in the middle, so I can go either way. Never, I mean, not that I haven't bought shoes in Cleveland, because I have, because I see him on here now, my boy Zach. He actually, I was able to grab my homage to Holmes from him. Like literally got off a flight from Florida, went to the shop and grabbed my shoes. It was crazy. He took care of me. He took care of me for sure.
Zach is all right. He's all right,
Yeah, he's good people. He's good people. So I'm not gonna say I've never shopped in Cleveland. Like, if I actually have a really good friend named Eric in Columbus too that helps me out a lot. If I need something, and I mean Columbus has a ton of boutiques and things beyond your Foot Locker and all that. So
Yeah.
I'm able to get a lot of things from him too.
No.
I mean, it's all about making connections and friendships and helping each other out, really. Because like I said, I'm not a 5, 6, 7, or 8 fan. So a lot of times, like I know Zach hit me up before, like, hey, can you grab, could you try for these 5s for me or these 6s? And I'm like, yeah, I got you. Because he knows I don't want them. So kind of do that a lot.
Yeah. Zach is all right. He all right.
I saw your guys' picture together. I was like, wow, small world.
Oh, no, we used to work a while.
Huh?
Work it next. So,
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I didn't even know you all do each other. Cool. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
we do actually. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I know when I saw that picture, I was like, wow. I was like, I can't believe they know each other. I mean, I should know better though, because two sneakerheads from Cleveland should know each other. But I was surprised to see that picture of you and him together.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, I probably known Zach since about 2000, if not before. So we've known each other for a long time. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay. Well, you you're in Indiana now. You got
Hmm.
all these different avenues. I'm kind of experiencing the same thing down here, being between
In North
Raleigh
Carolina.
and
Yeah.
Charlotte. So, um, with that, it brings about, running across different crowds, different audiences. So, like where you're at now, is it just Jordan ones and dunks there, like it is everywhere else, or is it a shoe?
No, it's pretty much a mixture of everything. Everybody here kind of has their own style. I see a lot of course, ones and dunks, but I do see a lot of fives, like five, sixes, and sevens are big here. Um, a
That
lot of Jordan 1 lows are big here. A lot of Air Maxes are big here. Not so much the 90s that I like, but a lot of people, I see a lot of 90, the Dope Boys, the 97s, Vapor Maxes, I see a lot of. But it's nice to see a mixture. It's definitely not everybody wearing the same thing.
okay, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, the next biggest city, Indianapolis, you're talking about, that's a pretty diverse type of city. So you see a lot of Converse too, a lot of Chucks, which I appreciate. Vans. Vans were big here for a few years. That's all I would see the kids wearing is Vans. Even my niece was into them for a few years. Heavy. Like all she wanted was Vans, 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 Vans. I don't see too many Air Force Ones.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I don't. I really don't. I don't see too many Air Force Ones, but I think those are still prominent in certain areas. I mean, like these ones that are coming out tomorrow are going crazy on resale. The Brooklyns, the lime green off white Air Force Ones.
Oh yeah, damn, that's
Like
smart.
everybody I know wants them.
Yeah, I'd like to have a pair myself. I don't have any green Air Force Ones that I could think of. That's
I
like,
I personally like I like Air Force Ones. I've never really been able to wear them. I have a high arch and they've always bothered me when I wore them. I don't know if it's just the sole is so flat and heavy. I have trouble wearing them. I'm not gonna say I don't own any. I do because some of them I just had to have regardless. So, but yeah, they're not my most comfortable pair of or style really of Nike. The 90s, my 90s are my favorite by a long shot.
Chris only likes limited Air Force Ones. That's not true. I've got like two or three all whites in the cut. That's not true.
You
So it's
have to have, I mean, if you like Air Force Ones, you have to have triple whites. I mean, it's only right. And you need the black ones, the head stompers for when you're out there on some
yeah.
on some funny stuff.
I have small blacks. They're lows. They're from like 2007, but I do have a pair. Um, Now nobody ever really knows, but how big do you think your collection is? I know you have a lot of shoes.
I'm counting the ones in the unwearable ones, or
Just overall,
probably close to 400.
it's a lot of shoes.
Yeah,
A lot
it
of
is.
shoes.
I mean, you want to get my bedroom real quick? I'll give you a little. I just it's pretty bad. Like this is what I've run out of room in the closet, and this is kind of a little bit of my. These are ones I haven't unboxed yet. Um, I kind of have like a flow running over here and over to the side over here. It's yeah, it's It's getting bad. I gotta I gotta downsize a little bit, I guess. I,
Yeah.
I just can't get rid of. I know, like everybody's like, why don't you put yours, in the nice, pretty cases and all. I can't get rid of my boxes. I can't. I'm old school like that. Like even if I got even if I got those, I would still have to break down my boxes and keep them because I just don't want to part with them. I
Yeah.
just don't.
Like if I'd get drop fronts for all the shoes I have that don't have boxes, but
Right.
only then. Like I just couldn't see. I know it looks cute, or whatnot, but yeah, I'd rather just have the boxes. Yeah.
Me too. I know it's like organized chaos, but it's like I know where everything is. I know what shoes I have, where they're at. I can't do it yet. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah,
That'll be a pretty big investment though.
I got you. Now, of your collection, what would you say is like the biggest part?
Ones, 11s, and 90s.
Okay. Is this Andrea from Sneaker Supremacy? Yes, it is, Danny.
Hey, yeah, ones takes up a lot of my ones, 11s, and 90s are my big, and Air Max ones probably are my biggest numbers.
Yeah, I want you to look at me crazy. I've always been an Air Max guy, but I've really only rocked with the 90 heavy beyond the infrared colorway. Really only probably since maybe 14, 15. Before then, it was just everything but like ones, 95s, 97s, 98s. I really feel like that Cork 90 when they were doing the anniversary. I want to,
Yeah.
yeah, 2015, where it started.
Um, it's just been I've always been a fan of 90s. I just love the silhouette. And then I think what took off the 90s was that duck camo. Like I think that's when it caught a lot of people's attention beyond the infrared and beyond the volt and beyond that. I think when that duck camo came out, it raised some eyebrows. And then when you got into like the Air Max one, like the Animal Packs, the Atmos collabs, like when they really started, because Air Max 90s for the most part, let's be honest, they were boring. Let,
Yes.
let's be honest, they were boring for a long time. And then when they took that step and like introduced the camo, the elephant print, the safari mix, the animal packs, I think that's when people really started to, like the 90s kind of hit their radar a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's probably my favorite pair of 90s is my Atmos elephant print. It's or I'm sorry, of my ones, my Air Max ones. That's probably my Air Max 90 is probably the duck camo and then all the reverses. Like I love the Volt reverse camo. I love the orange reverse camo. I love the infrared reverse camo. Every time I wear those shoes, I get compliments on them, no matter where I'm at. And people don't realize the reverses are pretty much at or below retail right now on all the sites.
Yeah, I mean, I wore my infrared reverse camo, because I had like a little shirt with some flowers on it. That was that. People was going crazy. I'm like,
I know, and they really do, and I'm like, and I tell them, I'm like, hey, they're online for retail or below, depending what size. I just think people never looked at 90s as a big fashion statement type of shoe until they started introducing more of the collabs and stuff. And I'm a big Asics fan too. I
okay,
like Asics too. I like the Gel Light 3s a lot. Like I just got the Atmos and Sneaker Freaker collab, the purple lime and gray ones. It's probably my favorite collab this year, honestly.
okay. Yeah, if I had to, that Atmos Elephant is hard to beat. I'm trying to think if I have any Air Max ones that I own besides those that I like more. I mean, only maybe the OG white, gray, and red. I have the pair from the OG pack where they made them look old on purpose.
Yes,
So
those are so nice. I missed out on those, but those are like one of my favorites.
yeah,
I have a list. of things I still want to grab, and those are on there actually.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now you said that you're into Asics. Um, you like the gel light threes, gel light fives. Is there any
I
other? Oh,
no, no, I'm pretty much stuck on the Gel 8 threes right now, and I really like the split tongue for
okay.
some reason. I just think it's different and it's, you know, something you don't see every day.
No, no. I mean, I feel like Asics was real. When that kind of blew up, like 2012.
When Ronnie Feig hit the scene.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think the lava sent a lot of people over the edge
yeah.
when it came to Asics and who Ronnie Feig was. Um, he's a dope designer. Asics actually has a collab with it's a whole angel shoe, and I don't know why I can't think of her name right now. She's a designer. She's an actual clothes designer. Vivian Westwood. If you get a chance, look up Asics Vivian Westwood, and I mean it's probably one of the dopest Asics I've ever one
Hmm.
of the dopest Asics I've ever seen as far as detail. I mean, from the tongue to the insole to the bottom of the shoe, you'll know it when you see it because it's a whole like angels, and it's just so nice. It's so nice. But Asics, their materials have always been A1 too. I've
Hmm.
never got a pair of Asics that were bad.
Yeah.
Never.
I don't think I have either. Um, yeah, they've all been A1. They kind of been on the level of New Balance made in the USA kind of quality. So you're right.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I've had some trouble with Jordans the last couple years with quality. Like I said, I don't know if it's the pandemic. I don't know if it's just trying to hurry and produce shoes. But I mean, in all my years of collecting, this is the last 2 years have probably been the worst quality wise that I've seen. Now, my fire reds that I just got Saturday, I had to have them because the ones I have are like yellow, and those are a pair that the soles are kind of messed up. Um, they're perfect. I mean, the leather's nice, no problems, no glue, no. I had a really bad pair of Jordan 12, the Royals. The the heel tab was off. The 23 wasn't painted. It looked like there were two different leathers. The stitching was coming apart. It was horrible. But Ace, New Balance, and I'm gonna be honest, Adidas, I've never had any quality issues with. I got a nice pair of the Nipsies, the Adidas Nipsies in gray. They came like in their own shoe bags. It was wild. And I'm like, I wish people would branch out more. You know, not that I don't love my Nikes and Jordans, because clearly I do, but there are so many other dope sneakers out there that quality wise you can't even mess with. Like it's it's crazy.
Now,
It's crazy.
what size do you wear?
Okay, so I wear a 7Y. Um, I could now in a Jordan 4, I can do a 8 men's and I'll have a little room just because they fit tighter. I have a small foot, but it's wide at the top. So certain things fit differently. I'm fortunate, like I said, to where I can wear a 7Y. I would prefer a 7.5 men's, but we all know that's a unicorn size and you're probably never going to see it ever unless you buy it on StockX or GOAT for an insane amount of money. So I've been known to go to a 8 men's and just wear thick socks if I have to, especially if it's not a grade school release and it's a shoe I really want.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Nah. When I used to work at Next, we used to get sevens and 7.5s, and you know,
Yeah. How many? Like
no, I was gonna
one?
get one a piece, and then half the
Yeah.
time it would be explaining to someone why 7Y is so much cheaper than the regular 7.
Right.
You know. Because
I mean, it's a different shoe. I mean, I the 7Y is cool, but it's like we get cheated on the boxes and stuff too. We don't always get the nice boxes. We don't always get the extra laces. We don't always get like my fire red threes didn't come with the hang tag. Like the Nike hang tag, the grade school ones just don't come with it. So yeah, you pay a little less, but you also don't get all the bells and whistles like everybody else sometimes.
yeah, I've been hearing that quite a bit lately.
Sadie,
Can
enough.
we see these dogs?
My little dog.
Can we see these
She,
dogs? Just one?
just one. It's one. It's one. Come here. Come up here. Come on. It's one little dog making all that noise. Look at her.
Ah.
Just one little dog making all that noise because she's spoiled and I'm talking on the phone.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh, with your collection, what would you what direction would your collection go in the future?
I I like the direction they're going with collabs, and I like the direction they're going with a lot of female designers. I'm a big fan of the Ali Ali May. I'm a big fan of the Melody Asani. Um, I like to see people like when fashion meets streetwear. I like to see when I like to see she's crazy.
Oh, she going off.
She's crazy. I like to see when how I want to say like when worlds collide.
Okay.
You know, when it's not so much clothing just or sneakers just for basketball, or you know, I like when they hit that little fashion note where you see people. I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of sneaker stuff, and I really like. I don't know if you ever watch the Japanese streetwear, like where they film people in like Tokyo and stuff and walking down the street. Like their styles are so crazy and they're so cool. And it's just like they take sneakers to a whole nother level with the way they dress. And I would like to see that more here. I really would. Cause it's definitely a fashion statement.
Okay. Okay.
I
Now,
just want to see beyond, you know, like my friend Carissa, you know, an eye for kicks. She has a YouTube.
yeah.
She dresses really cute with her sneakers and stuff, and I admire it. She actually just was at Carnival and she wore the Ali Ali May ones, the blue and green ones, because they matched her Carnival outfit. And she said Carnival meets sneakers, and it was really nice. It was cool to see it. It's cool to see sneakers in situations and events where you wouldn't expect them to be.
Nah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She.
like to see them pop up places. I like the whole sneaker ball, you know, things that they have going on because, you know, I like to see the girls wearing sneakers with their dresses for prom. It's just the nice, you know, brides. I've seen some, you know, weddings where the girls wore sneakers and so did the men, and I thought it was, you know, really cool. Like if that's part of your lifestyle, like do it. You know, like let the lines be crossed.
Yeah. Nah, I got you. Yeah. She's actually been on this show. She was a few guests ago. I saw y'all took a picture at the thing in Detroit as well.
But
Like,
she was in Detroit, which is pretty close to me from Fort Wayne, so I
mhm.
headed up there to check her out. You know,
Yeah.
we've met once before in person, and I always try to support when I'm close, you know, to people, and
Yeah.
if I can.
Yeah. For sure. Now, how does your family feel about your relationship with sneakers?
Um, my sister's okay with it. I've turned my niece into kind of a little sneakerhead, so I've pretty much taken the responsibility of buying her shoes and doing that for her. My mom always says, like, why do you need all those shoes? You only have 2 feet. And my dad was, you know, always supportive, like, let her get what she wants, you know, whatever. Yeah, but not that my mom had a problem, but she's just like, why do you need all these shoes? Like, why do you need all these shoes? She never understood like why. She's like, they're all the same color. I'm like, Mom, those are threes and ones. And she's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, never mind. It's just too hard to explain.
I got you. Now,
You're cage. You are going in your cage, young lady.
well, have you ever been, or does your significant other imbibe in the sneakers as well?
No. 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 Um, not like me. It's it's almost kind of crazy because I'm the one like, oh, these come out and and he's like, oh, I don't even whatever. I'm like, when that was going on, but I kind of like you're pretty much guaranteed you're gonna get sneakers for birthday or a Christmas gift, something from me.
Yeah, I mean, I know with my wife, if we're about to celebrate something, or if it is my birthday, it's like, what do you want? I'm like, no, I just want a pair of sneakers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just
Now, she's into them too, right?
yes.
Your wife. So yeah, that's cool. Like I can't say they've never I don't think they realize the level. Like when I first would meet them and tell them about how I love sneakers, I don't think they understood.
Mm-hmm.
I think they thought I was lying or oh, she can't be into sneakers that much or until they see and then they're like, "Oh my god, like you're really you weren't lying." I'm like, "No, I try to tell you."
Definitely a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is for sure.
All
It
right.
is.
Let me ask you, because I know I'm in the group and I post in there, but tell me about the sneaker supremacy.
The Battle League.
Yes.
So I don't know too much about it. I mean, I know a couple people asked me to join and battle there. See, I come from my initial battle group was the commission,
Yeah.
which a lot of like, your Jackie Criswell, your Hendo,
Those.
Nick Bailey, Reese.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I came from. So I kind of like got invited there. I mean, it's pretty cool. I've done a battle there. I've seen quite a few good battles there. I like what they're doing. I like what they're trying to do. Um, and then I came from, for the love of sneakers, which I'm not a part of anymore, but a branch off, not so much a branch off of there, but my one boy AC Red started his group off of that Shoe Shoe World Order. I'm heavy in there. The
Mm-hmm.
Shoebox, Positive Vibes crew.
All
Um,
that.
I love my Aussie family. I gotta give them a shout out. I know you're in there too with Michael Higgins, Sneaker Posse. That's a whole group of Aussies, and from Australia, they love '90s. So
They do.
I'm big in that. Like I like to post in there because they really appreciate the '90s. But yeah, Sneaker Supremacy, cool so far. I like what they're doing. I like their format. I see a lot going on with them in the future. But like I said, I come from the commission. So, that's where my heart lies.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite Facebook groups to be in. I mean, I've known Jackie for a long time. Known Hendo for a little while as well.
Yeah.
I've never been able to get a battle in there. Nobody
No.
want to battle me in there.
Yeah. My boy Michael Grant actually invited me there. And then like I saw Mutter Beecham was in there and I saw Reese, Nick Bailey. And I'm like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, cool. So that's actually where I did my first battle, Chris, was against Nick Bailey.
Mm.
So Mutter, if she's watching, decided she was sipping one night, right? So she wants to put me and her up against Nick Bailey in a ones battle.
Oh wow.
And here's me. It was a Saturday. I'm sitting home drinking wine. I'm like, why not? Let's do it. Man, listen, I'm just happy that man took it light on us and didn't embarrass us because talk about it being initiated on your first battle with a Nick Bailey. I was like, I don't even understand why. I'm texting her on the side, like, I can't believe you got us into this. You ain't allowed to drink Henny no more. Like, it's like, it's just not.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Nah.
That was wild.
Yeah. I'm not really a good sneaker battler. I'm not good at battling because
And that's what I try to tell people.
I'm not really
I'm
good.
not either because I'm very stubborn I'm not very diverse, and I like what I like. You're not gonna see, like, I've seen, like, my boy Trey Falk, um, Sharif, Reese from Pittsburgh. When I saw their battles, I'm like, look at this diversity. You got Reebok. I don't own a pair of Reebok Questions. I don't own a pair of Iversons.
Okay.
Because I like what I like. So you're not going to see any of that from me. Like, you're just not. And of course, like, you see it from them. I like Carissa. I have a lot of respect for her collection because she's very diverse. I'm not diverse. If you're looking for diverse, it's not me. If you're looking for someone to show you ones and 90s and that type of stuff, then that's me.
I got you. Yeah, I had to learn that you're not like the reason I say I'm not good is because I get caught up into the history and what the shoe means to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to kind of realize everybody's not going to feel the same way I feel about this shoe or that shoe. And I realized that I'm so competitive that I'll actually be angry if I lose when it's supposed to be fun. So
right.
That's why I'm like, I was just in a Who Has the Heat Bron Gang challenge doing LeBron's, and it was fun, but
I own one.
Was that?
I own one pair of LeBrons. One.
Yeah. I mean, it's well, me buying them, especially in the early 2000s, it's like, man, it's a piece of Cleveland history. I never thought we would have nobody like LeBron on the Cavs, but you had to play to the judges, you got to play to the chat, and the people watching, where you got to like pull stuff that they'll either like or in some cases even know, because I pulled stuff people didn't know what it was, and I didn't win because people didn't know what I was pulling.
Case in point, these are the ugly. Every time I show these shoes, people hate these shoes.
Oh, 97s.
These are the only pair of 97 mids ever made that aren't a boot. And they were a collab with an Italian designer named Roberto Tisci.
Yeah.
Now, when I show these shoes, though, everybody's like, those are the ugliest shoes I've ever seen. But to me, because I love Air Max, you're never going to see a 97 mid.
Nah.
And I have one.
Nah, Ricardo Tisci is one of my favorites. I have an Air Force One, a Dunk.
Oh, listen, if some of these chicks would look up his collabs and see some of those Air Force One boots and stuff that he has, they'd be pleasantly surprised, I promise you.
And everything he's put out is quality. It's no bad leather on nothing he's made.
Oh, this is Italian leather on these joints. Like, these Johns are dope. And everybody sees them, they're like, it looks like they just threw a high top on a 9. Well, yeah, it's a 97 mid. It is kind of what they did. Like,
yeah.
But you're not going to see it every day.
I'm watching a pair of those on eBay as we speak, because I don't have that pair. But I've always liked mid running shoes because they're so rare. Like when the Flyknit out, I was all about the Flyknit Chukka because it was a mid running.
Exactly. And that's what it is for me. It's kind of the hunt of the, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like mainstream. I like some hype stuff. But for me, it's kind of the hunt of the obscure. Like things you don't see every day, or collabs that don't hit the US, or, things of that nature. I don't mind wearing shoes that everybody else wears, but at the same time, there's things that I see that talk to me and might not resonate with anybody else. And, I have a reason why I buy them or want them, and not everybody's going to get it. So I'll take the heat. It's okay, because at the end of the day, it's my collection.
I got you. Well, while we have a few minutes left, did you have any questions for me?
So I see you with a lot of Converse. How many pairs of Converse do you have?
If I could ballpark it, probably about 340.
Next time I'm in North Carolina, can I come look at your closet?
Sure. I mean, I will say, Converse is my employer, so some of that is that. But
I understand. You have stuff that you just don't see. Like, you just don't see, and you don't even know where to find.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, I feel the same way about you. Some of the stuff I see you post, man.
I appreciate like when you post pictures and stuff, it's like you and a few other people I always take note of because like you, Josh Roby.
Woo, woo, woo. Hey, I'm trying to get him to get an Instagram so I can have him on this show because he has an act.
I Do you understand how bad I just want to go to that man's house and just he is like a walking time machine.
Yeah. And then,
Like but there's certain people, back to what I was saying, there's certain people I take note of. It's like you, Josh Roby. Um, there's a few overseas people that post a lot of PEs and Sam like Tati and you know that stuff. Um, but there's certain people I watch because I know I'm gonna see things that you don't see every day, and that's what I like. I mean not to say I don't like seeing a Jordan one in the timeline, but it's nice to see other things. It's very nice to see other things, and I appreciate your collection a lot for that because I see that a lot from you.
well, no, I really appreciate that. That means a lot, you know, coming from you. You know, I kind of crazy with the Converse over the last couple of years too, because being in Cleveland, thing meaning even though they get regular black and white, you know, you can't really go crazy there because there's no Converse store there. But it's one in Columbus. But I always wanted to have Converse like I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and coming into the job, I might have had maybe 60, 70 pairs of Converse.
That's still a lot, though. Like, that's still a bit.
Actually, I'm gonna show. This is my favorite Converse here, the Weapon, only because it's Magic Johnson's shoe. I only have
Yeah.
it here because I'm about to make a video about these for my YouTube channel. But
See, that stuff, like, I just feel like those don't get the appreciation that they deserve.
yeah,
Like, people don't understand, like, Converse is like the OG.
yeah. So
Like,
yeah, I like these enough where I got two. So two different
so
releases.
got to get them twice.
Yeah, '02 and '09. But yeah, I mean, um, you know, I do appreciate, you know, someone like you saying that. It's hard with shoes, having shoes like you have and like I have, where you gotta, you know, figure out what you're gonna wear, you know, every morning. It's like an adventure, but it's fun at the same time.
It is.
It's fun at the same time, you know, because I
Well,
just can go.
appreciate you having me here. I gotta get going. I gotta go midnight shift tonight. You know how that is.
Okay. Well, no, I appreciate you, you know, being on here. I will
It was
definitely.
nice talking to you about everything. I love
Yeah,
when I can talk to another sneakerhead that's, you know, around the same level, like age, you know, like the nostalgia and not so much, not, you
I
know, know this to the new sneakerheads. You got to start somewhere.
yeah
So, but it's nice to chop it up with the old heads, you know.
yeah. Well, I really appreciate you, you know, being on here, and I will definitely be in touch with you. Thank you.
Okay. I can't wait. Take care now.
You too.
All
Peace.
right.